Discourse in this was in power distance throwing, and these two ladies who are here, they had a huge falling out, because on the left is Seema Punia, who's a legend of athletics discus thrower, and on the right is Kapil Kaur. Now both of them have Kaur is still serving a drug sentence. She just got done last year, but both of them have been caught for drugs. For example, Seema, who's on the left, she's slightly older, she's nearly 40. She was stripped of a world junior title back in 2000 for being caught for drugs. That was when she was a junior athlete. She came back a few years later and won, I think 2 years later, won a bronze maybe. She got done again 2010 and 2006 and so on. Camille Pret on the right was kind of coming through. She holds a national record in India for discus. But there was then a falling out. Camille Pret says that her idol, the person she looks up to most, is Seema. But Seema then went and kind of demanded that there would be a gender test done on her, on Camille Pret, sorry. I'm probably saying the names completely wrong, so please excuse me. Where is this now in Indian athletics, and what led to this? Because it did seem to be very, very close at one time.
You see, these two girls have been in discus throwers. Both have had a record of doping cases. As you have pointed out, Seema is a junior back in, I think, Kingston. When she was caught for, I think, pseudoephedrine, something like that, her title was taken away. And next edition, she won a bronze medal. The curious part during the last few years had been that Seema had been training in Russia. I think you must be aware of it. She has been repeatedly going back to Russia also. I think I heard that she has got some property also in Russia. I'm not very sure about it. Kamalpreet was, as you know, finished 6th in the last Olympic Games. Then she was caught. She was included in the AIU RTP. After that, I think in January she was included. In March, she was caught and she took the easy way out with a 3-year suspension for a steroid violation. This is there among, I think now it is pointless to say whether it is there more in throws or jumps or something like that. I think across the board, whether it is sprinting or whether it is 400 meters or whether it is long jump or triple jump or whether it is discus or shot put, you have doping going on, whether it is in the men's section or whether it is in women's section, it is going on. You mentioned something about the gender aspect. At that time, the rules were such that there was no gender test in discus throw, for example, or no throws, in fact, for example. Now the World Athletics have changed the rules to apply it right from 100 meters to decathlon or 100 meters to heptathlon. So the rules have changed. I don't know who all will be affected. Whether any of these charges or allegations that were made would be followed up or not. I think let Kamalpreet come out of her doping suspension first, and then they'll be able to. And this applies to, by the way, this applies to Duty Chand also.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Duty Chand is under provisional suspension at the moment. She is on an Austrian violation, and it's not a steroid. It's not connected with testosterone. So when she is able to come back, I don't know whether she'll come back and continue, but as and when she is able to come back, these new rules will apply to her as well, and apply to anybody else who might have escaped testing so far now.
Again, that's a good point. I didn't want to bring up about Duty Chand. I was like, for me, it was a very, very difficult situation for her, and for the whole, kind of, she was being down for doping and then down for, not being female, or again, it was enough. But Kevin Prito was, I just thought it turned very, very nasty very, very quickly, and I couldn't understand what had happened, why the fall. That was Isla. Do you have a question for KP? Sorry, before we move to the last question with him.
I suppose when we're just discussing, KP, about younger athletes, as Alan pointed out at the start, we've seen, not in India per se, but we've seen in the likes of South Africa, where younger and younger rugby players are starting doping because of the opportunities that come their way as a result of doping. And do you think in India now the problem is more centered around younger athletes doping to get ahead, and as you said, to get the opportunities in terms of sponsorship, in terms of career choices, whereas historically we would have seen maybe older athletes doping in a sense that to prolong careers, etc. But do you think India has a problem with younger athletes doping more so than more seasoned athletes?
That's right. I think younger athletes are perhaps more keen to dope because, as you mentioned, it opens up employment opportunities. It opens up promotion, as I mentioned earlier. It opens up promotional avenues, and it opens up free house, free land, free, etc., etc., etc. So it is first step is for you to get a job, and if you can sort of dope and start winning at the national level, I think there are public sector undertakings in India, including the big companies, railways, police, etc., etc., which are ever willing to take you in. And then there are bigger paying companies in the oil sector, for example, which are also government undertakings, which are well paying, which will give you all kinds of facilities, etc. Nowadays, there are private sponsors who will be able to take you in and take care of all your expenditure, etc., apart from giving you some financial incentives, monthly incentives. The government itself gives financial incentives to select athletes who are being prepared for the Olympic Games. At the senior level as well as at the junior level. So one, it is highly paying, but as you have rightly said, that it gives employment opportunities to begin with. And once you settle down in a job, then you think about an Olympic medal or a world championship medal or something like that.